Hello guys, welcome to the channel. This is Devourer. In today's video I want to talk a little bit about underwater combat for our beloved ranger. So for the longest time I've been using shark and the armored fish. Shark is probably one of the best bits in the game, not just in underwater, like how it function comparing to even on land bits for ranger. It's very good and uniquely good in action. So it have a CC here for one target from range, 2 seconds of fear on a long cooldown, and this skill hit for hard damage for multiple enemies, leap from distance, and can apply even condition. And in fact, it do a CC. It's push back enemies, even if it's not actually stated on the tooltip, but it actually can CC enemies. And the auto attack both do condition and power, and the skill you can control give a huge amount of quickness and make the attacks, 3 attacks coming from the shark will do longer bleeding. So in general it's a good bit. It's not very tanky but have a lot of health, so it's very decent. It can survive, it can do damage, it can CC, it can do everything. However, the other option for me was the armored fish. Why is that? I wanted my bits underwater to survive more, so I used the very tanky one that can heal, give itself protection, and the stun when it lands is amazing. But this fish is becoming even more and more difficult to land. It hits because most classes are now can move incredibly freely. Everyone have really high mobility, so this fish became extremely useless. It's like you switch from shark to it so the shark don't die and then wait till you go back to shark, so it felt incredibly useless. However, I've been trying to think or experiment between other bits, but underwater combat is not really a big thing in World vs. World, so it's very rare to see in action what it actually happened or how efficient a specific bit can be, because you rarely gonna fight people underwater anyway. However, all bears basically feel completely useless. It's like the same thing, except maybe this one, but I felt that cleansing not always happening or not as easy. I can miss it sometime. I want it to be near me so it doesn't move at full speed. Again, like an extra survival skill, but it doesn't mean this much. The 10 condition removed are great, but it's not that reliable. It can miss easy. You simply need to, most of the time, switch from shark to it. To do it as safely as possible to make sure you get the cleanse and then use the cleanse. But like I said, it felt like a bit of a waste. And also the jellyfishes can do some decent fields, give regeneration, and can give immobilize or chill with a decent damage. But again, it's a melee thing, and with a bit of long cast, no one really gonna eat all that. So I felt the jellyfish are not efficient. Even so, they can be decent sometimes, especially the one with the chill, this one. Now, I didn't also like tigers, they are very weak. I ended up choosing between like 3 or 2 bits, which is this Drake. First, having access to a poison field like this that you can blast in it to apply weakness, while the bit itself can apply weakness and can hit a bit hard, and it have high toughness and high vitality, it can survive even more than the shark itself, is a bit decent option, but it doesn't have a CC. So I'm thinking going with this one. It doesn't have as much damage, but it can evade. It is very tanky, even if it have a low health pool, so it will not survive a lot of condition, but will survive definitely out of power. But it can do an evade, it can have a CC through a knockback, and it can hit from range with poison, and also you can apply 2 hits to apply stun. So it have 2 CCs possibly used, and it have decent survivability. And attacking from range also can make it a bit easier for it to actually hit enemies than go in melee. There is another one, this too, that can give you a poison field instead of the stun. So it is a bit decent, but the poison field is casted, so it's not as accurate while on the move. I feel the Drake was actually better, and if we have it like that, it's not really much better than the Drake because there is only 1 CC and it didn't feel this efficient. So I think of going with this one. Between it and the Drake with the poison field, I'm kind of torn between both. So for other rangers out there, why don't you share with me what you think, which one is the best? And remember, I'm mostly talking about a condition ranger, which means there is no bit support. I don't use beast mastery, and I'm a druid, so all my bits are 20% weaker. So Drake is not that useful to actually count on its damage or anything like that. It is decent, but its damage is not the main thing I think about when it comes to bits on my druid. So I will leave you now with underwater fights, but when I reach a final decision, maybe I will write a comment or I'll make a video on it with rooming or something. So tell me what you think in the comment, and I hope you enjoy the video.